This is Harry Judd for Boxing Social in association with Betfred. I'm at the Gallagher's gym and I'm joined by the one and only Scott Quigg. First of all, how are we, Scott?
All good, thank you.
Busy gym down there. Obviously got Mark Heffron in there. We've got Natasha, Jonas in there, Charlie Edwards in there. It's a gym full of characters.
Yeah, the gym's thriving at the minute. We had 3 on at the weekend, and like I say, we've got some of the lads now and Natasha, big fights coming up, so gym's buzzing.
Talk to me about Natasha's fight in Liverpool against Patricia Burkhardt. It's the fight we all wanted. Well, the fight that she initially wanted was the Hannah Ranking fight, but that obviously didn't come through. But a massive, massive test to become a 2-weight champion.
Yeah, I mean, this is for she's already world champion at this weight now as well. So this is a massive fight. Obviously, the Hannah Ranking fight was what I think Joe and Natasha wanted, but this is a big fight in Liverpool for her, and everyone's looking forward to it.
Also in there we've got Charlie Edwards. What's the current situation? He obviously signed with Pro Bellum, I think, in March, but what's the current fighting situation?
I'm not too sure on that at the minute. Obviously he's with Pro Bellum, I think, at this moment, but like I say, I'm just in there helping train the lads, but I think that's all being sorted, obviously. So he's hopefully going to get a date pretty soon. So he's in the gym working hard, and like I say, he lives a life, Charlie. He's always in the gym working on things, and when it all sorts itself out, he'll be ready to go.
Can you not get away from the sport? You're in here. Do you just love it in here and to do the training?
It's one of them. Obviously, when I retired, I went straight into training fighters, so I was in there, and then I had a couple of my own fighters, and then I ended up going out to Dubai for 4 months, give myself a bit of a break from it because I just wanted to get away from it. But then when I come back, you can never seem to get away from it. But now, like I say, I'm back in here under Joe, learning from. Like I say, I've still got a lot to learn, and being obviously here with Joe, seeing the process and stuff, and learning. I'm learning to be learning from one of the best coaches, so can't argue with that.
Does that not tempt you at all to get back into the ring, or is this the next big thing for you?
No, I mean, going back, I'd love to fight. Listen, I'm as fit as a fiddle. I'm not gonna lie. I'd always back myself. I'm fitter than anybody in this gym still. But it's all right being fit, but yeah, when you're in there, you just that second too slow, and So I'm happy on this side of the ropes now.
Mark Heffron, the super middleweight's got a massive test coming up. Just talk to me a little bit about what stuff you've been working on in there.
Yeah, like with Mac again, and I can always, like for instance, Charlie and Mark, they're similar mindset to me. They're on it, and like I say, Mark leaves no stone unturned. He's trying to improve every day, and like I say, there's a big fight coming up, so we're all excited for that.
Obviously at the weekend we have to talk about it, the AJ-Usyk rematch. Again, not the decision we probably all wanted in this country, but a credit to both men. It's a fantastic fight.
It's a fantastic fight, and you know what? With what Anthony Joshua's done for the sport, and what he's done, he's done great. And there's still a lot more for him out there, but at the end of the day, you got to give credit to Usyk. He's an unbelievable fighter. For me, he's the best fighter in the world today. So he's one of them fighters for me that he would have been able to hang with the old heavyweights, and the old fighters. And I say to everybody, there's only a handful of fighters at each weight around today that could have been mixed in the era of in the 80s, where obviously I used to love. There was real fighters for me. Quality. It was all about skill, boxing ability. Don't get me wrong, as conditioning, strength and conditioning has improved, but everything was boxing ability, and I think now too many stray away from that, and it's more fitness, more conditioning. Whereas I'm not big on skill. It's boxing that you do in the ring. As long as you're fit enough to do 12 rounds, it's about boxing.
You mentioned skill. Obviously, the change of training teams. Everyone's saying that it's Joshua's best ever performance. Did you see any improvements in Joshua's work?
Listen, sometimes the change is good, because it freshens things up. I'm not saying like. I mean, I watched the fight, but I weren't watching it, so I weren't taking much note to be honest, if there's anything different going on, if he's improved or not. But sometimes things freshen up, different ideas. But no, I've seen the same Joshua, but obviously I'm more. Obviously, he learned from the first fight, so he's going to have improved. He's going to have made slight adjustments, but again, Usyk was too good.
You said Usyk's the best in the world. Again, everyone's asking for the Fury-Usyk fight.
I'm not saying that, no. I say Usyk's the best in the world, but I think Tyson Fury beats him.
Explain that then. How's that work?
I'm trying to explain it myself, but no,
Have a go.
I think I'd love to see that fight because Tyson's. I don't think he knows what he's going to do next. So how can you read him? He's unpredictable. He's the sheer size of him, but the way he can box, his boxing ability, his speed, the way he can move on his feet for such a big man. That's a fight. It's an intriguing fight.
They're both unorthodox. They're both awkward. Yeah. This is probably one of the most trickiest southpaws on the planet.
I'd like to see how Tyson deals with Usyk, but also how Usyk would deal with Tyson. Because Joshua, he's more programmed. He's trained. What he does, it's been done in the gym. Whereas Fury does what he wants. He's his own style. So how would Usyk come up with the things he does that work against other people? So like I say, that it's a fight that I would like to see. I'd also like to see Joshua and Wilder.
Yeah, well, Wilder's coming back out. We're seeing him against Helenius. We think there's been content surrounding Wilder recently, but yeah, again, that is a fight that we all want to see.
I think that fight, the winner of that could then throw themselves back in the mix.
Does Joshua now join the end of the queue? Because look, because you've got mandatories, you've got Joyce Parker, sorry, you've got Dubois in that frame as well.
I mean, depending obviously how strict the governing bodies are, obviously if they're putting the mandatories on, but then you've got to say how do you put him in the back of the queue, because he's a global star. He brings more money. He brings he's a global star, so how do you put somebody of that stature on the back of the queue? I mean, rightly or wrongly, so sometimes, he should go back to the back of the queue a bit, because obviously people are fighters that have earned the stripes, but at the end of the day, you've got somebody who's got that much pull, so sometimes they get the shot back a lot quicker.
We have to mention the bizarre speech, the bizarre outburst at the end of the fight. Again, I've said it before, you never really want to knock a man when he's down. You've mentioned how much he's done for the sport. It was just emotions, was it that boiled over at the end?
Yeah, but at the same time, that can't be excused. It can't be excused. I think Fraser Clark on Sky said someone from his team should have saved him from that, because as a fighter, you know how the emotion can get to you, and you can react in ways that when you look back you think, I shouldn't have done that. But I think Fraser hit the nail on the head. Said somebody from his team, should have been big enough to step up and take that mic off him.
Charlie did an interview, a really, really interesting interview about mental health, and Charlie's been very vocal on it in terms of, everyone's advocates for mental health. Tyson Fury's arguably an advocate for mental health as well. What are your message to the AJ critics that are gunning down on him at this time?
See, there's a lot on mental health, and you've got to be careful, obviously, not to upset certain people, and because it's got to be taken serious. But at the same time, when you've got to, these people that do suffer from mental health, issues, and it is a problem with society today. Joe, there's a lot of people that suffer from it, but that's whether obviously because people are a lot easier to be attacked on social media. There's so many different ways that people can be attacked at, but I think it does as well get thrown around too easily. So, like I say, if someone listens at the end of the day, you know yourself, if you make a mistake or if you do something wrong, there you go. You're big enough to make that mistake, so sometimes you've got to be big enough to take what comes your way as well.
What should he do next? Should he have because he's on about the fight in December, a lot of people are saying, don't have a break away from the sport, you only elongate the pain if you do that, come back in December, have a good fight and go from there.
Yeah, 100%. If I was Joshua, I'd want to get out again. I'd take two or three weeks off from the gym, and then get back in. And I think the scenery, if he fights again before the end of the year, I think that's the best thing, because then the quicker he can put this behind him, then I think also it'll be better.
Thanks for catching up Boxing Social, Scott, and I'll be down here once again, that's for sure. We'll catch up then.
No, thank you.